Formalin and this is you can use this for process the hard one. A could do so first. We get big rubber where they put water power. We soak them there. We don't soak them there. You're weakening. This Kush business, we get the idea. We will know say it come out na Holland, or we get people away na JC themselves we get connection with who they other side and they we be the same thing and they we in other England, Holland. We get connection with the people and we get connection with all of them. They send a load and they well it's all be part of the game. We all be think of all and thing and the people where they go, where they get better, people where they we afraid the thing they affect, so we'll not be too concentrate on that because of will be the rip.
Because I monitor we got no smoker, the Jonesy the only. I Jonesy now with the only now. When they make something, if you know able you go see for you go do any bad thing for no more make you go buy that Kush smoker. Remind me for the perish in life. To go from this Kush. I lost me mama, I don't lost me daddy. So I don't get no help. I just live my life no more. Even sometimes I can always say, sometimes me God hates me, God hates me.
Please subscribe to my new YouTube channel Don CLIN and hit the notification bell to be notified for new videos.
Hello, mi famulem. Baba check the political offender with another edition of the program Don CLIN. Well, mi famulem, this na the connection between Sierra Leone and Netherlands when it comes to drugs. Well, they say not to just boleos no more. Na the connection between Sierra Leone and Netherlands. Then say Netherlands na the main supplier of synthetic drugs to Sierra Leone. Well, this na a particular documentary according to a recent research where na the Clingendael Institute and the global initiatives and organizations them that then dedicate to this particular investigation on organized crime. Well, according to them, they say Netherlands are the main supplier of synthetic drugs to Sierra Leone. Well, this particular news now yesterday around 9:30, this particular news be published na the Netherlands television, where they say Netherlands are the main supplier of synthetic drugs to Sierra Leone. And then say Netherlands and the United Kingdom are the main supplier of Kush, a deadly synthetic drug in Sierra Leone. And then go ahead and say the Dutch criminals, them really, they don't see West Africa as them promised land. So now that, now be the particular news way, them be here yesterday, now the Netherlands main television. Well, for the benefit of the one them we know they understand Dutch, because now in Dutch and Creole, because the Creole and subtitle am in Dutch, then the main language now in Dutch. But I try my best for lay agreeable for dub am into English in order for lay we then as salon we go understand exactly what this particular documentary is all about. We come in terms of drugs between Netherlands and Sierra Leone. When we listen to this particular documentary when I research will be conducted by an institution we then call Clingendael and the global initiative and organizations them we then come together for do this particular documentary.
Let's move on to something completely different. Suddenly, last month, it was all about Sierra Leone, the West African country that came into the spotlight as the alleged hideout of the Dutch drug criminal Bolle Jos. But that's not the only connection between Sierra Leone and the Netherlands when it comes to drugs. According to recent research conducted by the Clingendael Institute and the Global Initiative, an organization dedicated to investigating organized crime, the Netherlands has emerged as one of the primary suppliers of Kush. This is an exceptionally inexpensive drug that is triggering a substantial health crisis in Sierra Leone as well as other nations in the West African region.
At first glance, this might appear to be an innocuous-looking joint. But here, Kush is being smoked. Sierra Leone is captivated by this new, very cheap synthetic drug.
Because I monitor we got put no smoke at the Jonesy the only. I Jonesy now with the only now. When they make some say if you know able you go see for you go do any bad thing for no more make you go buy that Kush smoker. And the Kush one it don't cap poop and so fruits. Yes, I didn't but still I would man unable to get it smell. I only Kush no more. Remind me for the perish my life.
Mortuaries sometimes may not be able to handle the number of deaths, but exact figures on the number of COVID-19 deaths are missing.
To go from this Kush, I lost my mama, I lost my daddy, so I don't get no help. I just live my life no more.
But what is Kush actually? Research now shows that Kush often contains synthetic cannabis, and in half of the cases it contains so-called nitazene, an extremely deadly painkiller that is dozens of times stronger than heroin.
I see address so now with this full kit. When I saw can dress way with the process the Kush. Oh can dress so now we see me can dress so because of the chemical they use.
Among other things, nail polish remover and leaves are used in the production, says this cheese producer who claims to have recently stopped.
Echo so first, we get big rubber where they put water par, you soak them there, we don't soak them there, you're wicking. From your week we got small, we cut them, we cut all the plasters now.
And the active.
Well, I don't really understand this particular leaf where this particular young man they try for show because they try for saying that them they do the Kush. And the way I dress so, now for lady chemical no go affect them. Just imagine, you mortal man, you go do or use a particular chemical, then you go dress them kind way, then they, you know, say it's very, very harmful. Then you take them leaf, then they, you dry them. Where you don't dry, you cut like plasters. Then una put them chemical and they pan the leaf. Then una put them at the street for the way and kill people. Because this, not so for let people and go high again. Now for just reduce the youth force in our country.
Active ingredient is sprayed onto those strips. It now appears that ready-made kosher and the raw materials mostly come from the UK and the Netherlands to Sierra Leone.
This Kush business, we get the idea, we will know say it comes na Holland, or we get people away, na just see themselves, we will get connection with who they other side and they will be the same thing and they will be in England, Holland, we get connection with the people and we get connection with them, they send a load and they.
Well, we all know here, where this particular young man, we not then the manufacturer, not then the do the end product, and this particular chemical way, we say be the talk say they come out na Hollandia, it go salon. Now he made the try for explain how then they process them before them put them at the market for sale.
Items coming from Netherlands to Sierra Leone needs to be properly checked for due diligence, for an occurrence of that not to happen in the future.
Zegt Habib Taigore Camara, directeur van een lokale verslavingsorganisatie. Maar ook corrupte officials in Sierra Leone zouden volgens het onderzoek betrokken zijn bij de handel. Some low-level or mid-level officials are seen to protect this trade. What has to be done to end this?
What else needs to be done to this? We hold government accountable and we advocate to government, whoever is being associated as government functioning that is protecting the industry, that person should be sacked and come to law.
Our country is currently faced with an existential threat. We are witnessing the destructive consequences of Kush on our country's very foundation. It is my solemn duty as your president to declare a national emergency on drug and substance abuse.
A presidential task force promptly got to work and established an aversion therapy clinic on a military complex. Nearly a year after the state of emergency was declared, aid groups are still swamped with addicts. Aid worker Susan shares videos to raise awareness.
Anybody so say we will come across with video on Facebook, it's okay. And for every particular person, we go back to the field, we go look for the person, we show in video, we go up there, okay, we shall be this person. We looking for us, say they almost days.
To help addicts living on the street, Susan distributes rice with cassava leaves.
So I pray God for make help, for make them stop the pressure, going down addicts and carry now. Mercy. But they only pray God for make the Kush house of happiness or put the Kush for make Kush go.
As long as big money is being made from the pressure in Sierra Leone and beyond, there seems to be no end to the production for now.
Even sometimes I can always say, sometimes me, God hates me, God hates me.
Well, it's all be part of the game. We don't really think of all anything and the people where they go, where they get better, people where they afford the thing they affect. So not be too concentrate on that because of will be the grip, will be the guests until they meet you. So we keep all now overwork, let them pay now we think of.
Well, we all learn here a little bit about waiting the victims them and the one them we they not them local lab them the manufacture this particular Kush waiting them don't say and a particular young man by the name of Habib Kamara waiting say don't say if they try for talk say any container or items where they come out na Hollandia for go salon and for the check them properly. But this is not about Holland to salon no more. They even call England to salon. But what me understand is the one that the England na Hollandia then they send money to the one that then they paninting and they then buy them for the naya and then ship and go salon. Now so me understand. I don't know if then chemical and they England for go salon. And the other big problem again is the authorities. Most of them they hand deep on this particular thing. I make it go difficult for lay them go able for eradicate them na salon. If they're serious about the fight against drugs in our country, I believe say if the authorities them stand up and say enough is enough, let them put an end to this particular thing, it will minimize. Even though it not go end one time, but it will better a little bit. Now, let me listen to this particular interview where then they can talk about Salon and Netherlands and West Africa where come in terms of drugs. And it was in Dutch, but I try for Dobam in English for let people and will get a better understanding. And a 99.9% accurate.
Joining me is Karsten Bruin, a researcher at the Clingendael Institute. This is indeed surprising. We often hear about drugs usually coming from Africa and reaching Europe, especially the Netherlands. And now it turns out that the Netherlands is one of the main suppliers of this synthetic drug. What have you researched? What does the role of the Netherlands look like?
It was indeed surprising. We found a strong link between Sierra Leone and the Netherlands. This started with several shipments, especially containers from the Netherlands sent to Sierra Leone in recent years. The biggest container we noted was from last year, with over 300 kilograms sent from the Netherlands to Sierra Leone, marking their largest seizure ever. I have personally spent a lot of time in the country. I know many dealers, many people in the criminal circuit there as well, and I've been hearing for a long time that the Netherlands plays a significant role in that trade. And when we conducted the research, it indeed showed in the findings. Importantly, there are various actors in this market, some very big players, and the biggest one is someone who was convicted of cocaine trafficking in the Netherlands, deported, and then began this trade in Sierra Leone, So there's a clear link between the Netherlands and Sierra Leone.
Yes, very remarkable. And what I immediately wondered is that if it at least, we don't know if it's made in the Netherlands, but in any case, it ends up in Africa via the Netherlands. I don't think this drug, this couch, is used in the Netherlands.
No, as far as we are aware, indeed it is not. That also has to do with the fact that Kush is really cheap. It's a drug intended for people with very little money. Sometimes you can get a shot for as little as 20 cents. It seems to be a drug made for the local market in Sierra Leone and gradually for nearby countries.
Indeed, that is correct, because we possess a detailed map of the West African region. So we also see not only Sierra Leone, but other countries in West Africa, that it indeed reaches those countries via Sierra Leone. Yes, that's correct. So it really started in Sierra Leone.
Liberia was also impacted quite rapidly. We currently face a challenge there akin to that in Sierra Leone, an enormous health crisis. Additionally, Guinea and in more recent years, Senegal and the Gambia are countries that encircle Sierra Leone and are similarly being impacted. In Liberia, as an example, we discovered a direct connection from the Netherlands to Liberia. Sierra Leone is the center, but the Netherlands region link is notable.
Indeed, the report highlights the concerns in Sierra Leone about the presence of Dutch drug dealers. How significant is their presence, actually? To what extent are these Dutch drug dealers operating in those other surrounding countries? How active are these individuals, and with what types of drugs are they involved?
Yes, that's a very good question. Generally speaking, there are 4 major drug markets in the world, and for West Africa, 3 are of more importance. The synthetic drug market encompasses countries like Kush. Additionally, Liberia, which I previously mentioned, is another nation actively involved in this market. For instance, ecstasy in Sierra Leone.
I meant to mention other drugs too.
Various drugs are present. For instance, ecstasy is on the streets in Sierra Leone. We're also informed about similar cases in Gambia. There are also stories, increasingly so, that XTC swaps are taking place. This means XTC from the Netherlands is exchanged in the region for cocaine. XTC goes to South America, cocaine to the Netherlands. So that is a market in which we apparently also play a role. However, there are additional markets, such as the cannabis industry, for instance. In terms of cannabis, it is known that Dutch consultants travel to the region in an effort to enhance yields per hectare. We even possess detailed information regarding mail shipments where superior seeds with significantly higher yields originate from the Netherlands. In other words, a truly significant and important role.
The Netherlands is really big in drugs.
We're undeniably a key player in that area, actually a superpower, if I may say so.
To illustrate further, we've shown the number of cocaine seizures that have occurred. You can see this has risen significantly in recent years, up to 2022. The question that arises is, if the Netherlands is such a key player in Africa's drug scene, are we fully aware of this? And is any action being taken in the political sphere to address it?
Yes, that cocaine is indeed important because we also play quite a significant role in that market. Moreover, there is a significantly larger Dutch presence in the region now compared to earlier times. Yes, and indeed there is more concentrated attention, which is evident. Recently, additional liaison officers have been deployed to the region. Those are people from the police or the military police who have been stationed there. So there is more attention to that. We also see more European cooperation. Strategies are being developed by justice and security, foreign affairs and the police. So there is definitely more attention.
Certainly we possess a map here, as those liaisons are, to the best of our knowledge, situated in these 3 African nations.
Yes, 4 liaisons are stationed in 3 African nations.
It's about 4 people.
Yes, it involves a total of 4 individuals. They do have responsibilities for a number of other countries as well, but indeed it is 4 individuals. But it's important. Those liaison officers, they play an important role and really ensure that we can improve our information position in the region. Still, we shouldn't rely only on that. It's also about us, as the Netherlands, building direct relationships, for instance, by offering training programs to people in the region to ensure that we create our own networks. We also have a tremendous amount of expertise when it comes to synthetic drugs. We are a very big player in that area. We can engage in exchanges and gradually develop our own networks in that region. Enhance. Ultimately, we are also aware that other nations, such as the United Kingdom, France, and Italy, possess a relatively strong informational presence in the region. Increased collaboration could significantly assist the Netherlands in securing a more prominent role in West Africa.
Those recommendations are in the report. I truly thank you for your visit and explanation. Kaas de Bruyne, thanks a lot, from the Clingendael Institute.
Well, Mifambulem, that was the documentary where this particular institute and some other organization them be do about the drug connection between Salone and Netherlands. And this particular Kush chemical, they need to use an Hollandia for make Kush. Now that them they try for say. Now yeah, then they buy them, then send them na Salone. Just like waiting this man be they explain. Say now so then they do them. Where the chemical enrich na Salone and take their leaf, then dry them, cut them and spray the chemical pan them, then put them at the market for sale. And the misunderstanding here is, I feel say the one they will do this research, and they feel say, na Netherlands them, they pull that Kush chemical na can go Salone. I don't think say they are we are say, na Salone people and self, the pull that chemical they na ya, can go na Salone for go make this particular Kush. Being that Bolayos don't get drug connection at Salone, now then they feel say the Kush chemical na Dutch people and they pull them back na Hollandia can go na Salone. But not so it be. The Kush chemical na we on Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters them, they pull them na Hollandia can go Salone, non and go process and they for make them as Kush. And they say the Kush is very, very cheap. And me not believe say Dutchman then go engage themselves, especially where if you na person where they pan them business then they, you know, go put your hand pan cheap Kush. Now the way they make them get big money like waiting else they pan so. Now then go put hand pan. So this na the misunderstanding pan this particular documentary. The Kush chemical now we own Salone brothers and sisters then they pull them na Hollandia can go na Salone. Don't go process and they. Then they I don't think say Dutchman and they Panam. The only thing we go make them say Dutch people and they Panam, maybe with Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters them, we don't naturalize to Dutch, then they consider them as Dutch. Maybe that is the reason why they say Dutch people and the Pula na Hollandia can go Salone. And anybody will travel, especially we Sierra Leoneans, if we travel go Salone, either we don't get nationality or we don't get residence permit. That's the only two things, and that's why they make we travel. So, me family, just like what will be the talk earlier, say, if we not try for put an end to this particular thing, the youth force now we country, it will reduce. And without the youth, we not will get any future. So it's high time where the one old world long put here per we country so they like today for this negative thing. It's high time for lady authorities them na Salone let them try for clear up this mess we don't do in our country. So if not to that, just like we say, Salone will be the next Colombia or Mexico na Africa. So me family, how will they get the news? And so will they pass them on to now. Until next time, this na Baba Check the Political Offender with another edition of the program Do Don't Clean. Na me di say tata, peace.
This night jets up on music, sweet music production. Don't clean up. I did program this, where they educate you. Don't clean up. I did program this, where they inform you. Don't clean up. I did program this, where they entertain you. Don't clean, don't clean, don't clean. I did program this, don't clean, don't clean. I say this program not for me and you, because it entertain you. This program had to inform you. It entertain you. Oh yeah. This program had to inform you. Yes, it inform you. All the daily things them where they happen now we country. Baba Check there for inform you. All the daily happenings where they go on now we country. Baba Check just entertain you. Tell me say Kokoriyoko. Before long go, so you have to wake up. Tell me say Kokoriyoko. Wake up, wake up. For wake up, wake up, wake up. I say this program damn too nice. It entertaining from you too. Baba Check it program damn too nice. Oh, it entertain me. Don't clean up. I did program this. where they educate you. Don't clean up. And if